Hello everyone. This video is an initiative by the students of Shahid Sukhdev College of Business Studies in order to provide all the aspirants out there with complete and correct information about the CUET. This video is going to be particularly helpful for those aspirants who are planning to gain admission into the BMS, the BBA FIA or the BBE courses in the University of Delhi. This video has been divided into 4 parts. In the first part, I will be discussing some general information about the CUET. In the second part, we'll talk about the structure of the CUET. In the third part, we will discuss the eligibility criteria for the BMS, the BBA FIA and the BBE courses. And in the fourth part, we'll talk about the syllabus and I will give you some tips and tricks to help you ace the exam and cover the syllabus effectively. The CUET has been introduced by the University Grants Commission in order to reduce the burden of the students who often have to sit for multiple entrance exams in order to gain admission to different universities. The CUET is a single window of opportunity for students in order to gain admission into 45 central universities across the country. The CUET is going to be a computer-based test and it is going to be of the MCQ type. The CUET will also be conducted in 547 Indian cities and in 13 foreign cities. It will be conducted in over 13 languages in order to ensure maximum inclusivity and to provide an equal opportunity for students of the different regions in the country. The only students who are exempt from CUET are the students who plan to seek admission into the School of Open Learning or the Non-Collegiate Women's Education Board or are foreign nationals. The reservation criteria for the CUET remains the same. The percentages for some categories are as follows. EWS is 10%, for OBC is 27%, for the SC category is 15%, for ST category is 7.5%. There are also some supernumerary seats reserved for the following categories. For greater clarity, we have attached the reservation matrix of Shahid Sukhdev College of Business Studies for the year 2021 to 22, which is expected to continue for the subsequent years as well. An important thing to keep in mind is that if a student from the reserved category, for example, the OBC category student clears the cutoff for the unreserved category, he may seek admission in the unreserved category. Coming on to the course structure of the CUET. The CUET has been divided into 3 parts. That is Section 1, which consists of languages, Section 2 that consists of the domain-specific subjects, and Section 3 that consists of the general test. In Section 1, that is languages, you will be assessed on the basis of grammar, reading comprehension, and vocabulary. Coming on to Section 2, that is the domain-specific tests, it consists of 27 subjects, the syllabus of which is available on the CUET website under the syllabus tab and is broadly based upon the NCERT or the CBSE syllabus of the class 12th examination. The part 3 or section 3 of the CUET is the general test that will test you on your quantitative ability, logical reasoning ability, mental ability and current affairs and general knowledge. The section 1 has been bifurcated into 2 parts, that is List 1A and List 1B. List 1A consists of 13 languages and List 1B consists of 20 languages. Students can opt for at max 3 languages out of both these lists. Students will have to choose these languages according to the requirements of their course. For example, if a candidate named Shreya is applying for the BMS, she will opt for any one language that she is comfortable with. And for example, a candidate named Shreyas is applying for journalism honors in English, Hindi and Bengali, then he'll have to choose all of these 3 languages. The duration of the language test is going to be 45 minutes. The students will be provided with 50 questions, out of which they have to attempt only 40. Coming on to the second part or section 2, which is the domain-specific subjects. These subjects again have been bifurcated into 2 lists, that is B1 and B2. List B1 consists of these 18 subjects. List B2 consists of these 9 subjects. The students will have to opt subjects in this section according to the subjects that they have studied in their class 12th examination. For example, if a student is a commerce student, and has studied subjects like English, business studies, accountancy, economics, mathematics, he will opt for these subjects within the domain specific subjects, that is from section 2. The duration of the domain specific subjects is also going to be 45 minutes and you would be provided with 50 questions, out of which you have to attempt only 40. The duration of the general test is about 60 minutes, and in these 60 minutes candidates will have to attempt any 60 questions out of the 75 questions provided to them. The candidates can sit for a maximum of 9 tests and they can opt for these 9 tests in the following 2 combinations. Combination 1 consists of 3 languages, 5 domain specific tests and 1 general test. Option 2 consists of 2 language tests, 6 domain specific tests and 1 general test. The marking pattern of the CUET is as follows. For every correct answer attempted, the candidate is going to get +5. For every wrong answer attempted, the candidate is going to get -1. And for questions he is left unattempted, he'll get a 0. As regards to the question of whether a candidate will get more marks if he attempts more than 40 questions, that most probably will not be the case, and the UGC will soon bring out guidelines to decide on which 40 questions should be assessed in this case. In order to be eligible for admission into the BMS, the BBA FIA or the BBE courses of the University of Delhi, the candidates will have to appear in 3 papers. The candidates will have to appear in a language paper from section 1. The candidates will have to appear in the paper of mathematics, and the candidates will have to sit for the general test also. That means if you're not a mathematics student in class 12th, you're not eligible for admission into the BMS, the BBA FIA or the BBE courses. The CUET exam is going to be conducted in multiple sessions over a period of days. It will be conducted in 2 slots, slot 1 and slot 2. In slot 1, you can appear for a maximum of 4 papers. You can sit for 1 language paper, 2 domain specific tests and the general test. In slot 2, you can sit for either 2 languages and 3 domain specific tests or 1 language and 4 domain specific tests. That makes it a maximum of 5 papers. The general test is only conducted in slot 1. The details of the slots and the fee applicable for the exam for across different categories is available on your screen. The language test consists of reading comprehension, vocabulary and grammar. The best way to improve all of these 3 components is to read the newspaper daily, specifically the editorial section. This will help you in increasing your vocabulary, strengthening your grasp over grammar, and increasing your reading speed. This will help you in time management and maximizing your score in the language test. Coming on to the test of mathematics, the syllabus of mathematics is based upon the NCERT or the CBSE syllabus of class 12th, and in order to go about this, you would need to brush up your class 12th NCERTs religiously and solve all the examples and the requisite questions. The general test will assess your ability on the basis of these topics. Coming on to the GK section, the GK section is basically going to test your static knowledge, and for this, it's best that you brush up on topics like Indian history, Indian geography, world history, world geography, economy, polity, and also topics like sports and science. Coming on to current affairs. For acing this section, it is important that you are aware of all the current happenings in the world at least over a period of 6 months and you have in-depth knowledge about them. The general mental ability portion will basically test you on your knowledge of critical reasoning, and for this, you can cover topics such as cause and effect relationships, inferences, and strength of arguments. The example of questions that may be asked under this portion is shown on your screen. For quantitative ability, you may go through these topics in order to maximize your score and answer the most amount of questions correctly. An example of the questions that may be asked under this section is shown on your screen. For logical reasoning, you may go through these topics, and examples for questions that may be asked under the logical reasoning section are shown on your screen. One very important thing to keep in mind whilst preparing for the quantitative ability section is that you won't be assessed on your knowledge of higher mathematical concepts such as calculus, differentiation, integration, or 3D geometry. You should stick to basic mathematics concepts that you have learned till your class 10th. In order to develop your own unique strategy for the CUET and maximize your score, you should attempt multiple mock tests that are being offered by various coaching centers and also make good use of free material available on the internet. At the same time, the NTA is also going to be conducting mock tests and has also set up test practice centers in various remote regions of the country in order to help students get comfortable with the computer-based test system. The candidates can register themselves on the NTA website in order to access the test practice center facility, which is being provided completely free of cost. The applications for the CUET have already started since 6th of April 2022. The candidates can go onto the CUET website and download the information bulletin and can read the application guide, which is available from page 76. The deadline for filling the form for CUET 2022 is 6th of May, 5 p.m. and the deadline for submitting the fee is 6th of May, 11:50 p.m. This will be all for this video, and we hope that we've been successful in addressing most of your queries with regards to the CUET exam, its structure, and the eligibility criteria for BMS, BBA FIA, and the BBE courses. We hope that you do well in your exams and gain admission to colleges of your choice. Thank you very much.